Hey guys, it's Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game that's kind of like chess, loosely, but with some dice, called DiTiC or DiTiC. DiTiC, or however you say it, DiTiC, is a game for 2 to 4 players where what you're trying to do is you're trying to place these tiles out on the board to create a majority in the corners of your color. So if you create a majority of 1, 2, 3, or 4, it's going to determine if you can bring out a die of that value. What you're trying to do is you're trying to be the first person to match some of your dice together to get a value of a 6. Easy enough? Sounds easy enough? Let's go down to the table and see if it is easy enough. Alright, so here's the game of DiTiC, or DiTiC. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. All set up for 2 players. To set up, you're going to give each player a color of dice. So in this case, I'm playing red and blue. You're going to put this start tile out here in the middle. Looks like this. DiTiC start, or DiTiC start, however you say it. And we'll put that in the middle. And then what we're going to do is we are going to put this action die right here. Well, off to the side, because we're going to get to roll that later. And then we're going to play. So on your turn, you can do one of 2 things. You can draw a tile from the bag and put it next to another tile. Or you can put a die down if there's move a die once you have some dice down and some majority. So let's go ahead and get started. So red's going to go first. I'm going to try to use this to mark whose turn it is so I don't forget. So red's going to go first. I'm going to draw a die out of the bag, or a tile out of the bag. They're 2-sided. So on this side we have red, blue, and black. And on this side, we have blue, black, and white. And I don't want to use that one because I'm red. And I dropped the tile like a doof. So I'm going to use this side because it has red. And I need to get red out. So the way you're going to get dice out on the board is you're going to make majorities in the 4 corners of tiles. So right now, if you look at this one, I have 1 red and a blank. So right now I'm on my way to getting a majority in that section. And that's my turn. And that was real crooked on the up there. Let's get it a little bit straighter. There we go. All right, now it's going to be the blue player's turn. And they're going to draw because they don't have any dice out to do anything else. So they'll go ahead and draw. So they have this tile. It's got 2 blues, or 2 blacks and a blue. And then it has 2 blues, a white, and a red. And they want to start getting blue out, so they're going to play it like this. All right, then it's back to red. So I have this side, 2 blacks, a red, and a blank, and 2 reds, a white, and a blue. So let's go ahead and see if I can get something here. Let's put this like this. Alright, now it's blue player's turn. We can't roll that dice, that action die, until we get dice out on the board. Hopefully we'll get some of those out shortly. So blue player, they have 2 blues and a red, and they have 2 blacks, a red, and a blue. They want to keep doing some blue. So they want to do this. Alright. Then it's back to red. Red's going to take a tile. And they're going to do this right here. Alright, so this is going to give 2 majorities. So if you look at these corners, there's 3 reds here. So when you get a majority, as long as it's not tied, so majority means not tied, you're going to put a die with that many pips out on the board. So I got a 3 red here. And then there's also a 3 blue here because I did that. I completed that section and gave it a majority. All right. Now, because I have a die on the board and I play a tile, I can roll this die. This die has some different sides. Let me show you what the sides kind of do. So you can look here, over here. Those are the action sides of that die. So I rolled this one. So that means I can flip a tile, then place it any orientation. So there are a couple rules here about flipping. You can't flip the tile if it's locked in by other tiles, and you can't flip it if there's a die on it. So in this case, all these tiles have dice on them, so we can't do anything. So it's going to go ahead and be the blue player's turn. So now that there are dice on the board, they have a couple options. They can move a die, which each die is able to move certain ways. So 3, 4, and 5, they move along tile edges only. A 3 can jump over other dice. And a 1 and a 2 can move orthogonally and adjacent. And you can also take other people's dice. So I'm going to try to explain a little bit of the taking as well. So blue, they don't really want to move their die. They're going to actually take a tile. They got to get some more stuff out here. So they want to go, let's go right here. So they're going to go right there. Then they're going to roll the die. And they got flip a tile. They don't want to flip a tile because they just put that down. So now it's red's turn. They're going to draw a tile. Ooh, that's awful. So there's lots of white and black and plain, and white and black and plain. So let's see if there's anything they can do here. Let's just go ahead and put it. We don't want to make a majority, so we'll put it like this. So there's no majority here because there's red, white, and blue, and black, and blank, so nobody gets to put a die there, but red gets to roll. And they got an X. X means nothing. All right, now it's blue's turn. They're going to pull a tile, and they want to go, let's see, let's go over here. So they're going to put it right there. Then they're going to roll. They got this one. What is that one? Rotate a tile in its place to any orientation. Let's go ahead and do this. See what they can do here. Yeah, that's fine. They'll just rotate it a little bit like that. All right. So then they're done. Then it's blue player's turn. They're going to draw a tile. And they're going to put that one right here. And now they have a majority, a 3 majority. So they're going to come in with a 3. Move these guys. So they have a 3 die right here. All right. So then they're going to roll. They have move a tile or a die 2 spaces. Your first move to, or use your first move to move an opponent's die, which looks like this. So I can move a tile or a die 2 spaces. So let's just go, I'm gonna go right there. So I'll do that. Okay, and that was blue's turn. I'm not gonna use my second die because I don't want to. So red is going to draw a tile. They'd like to get another die out eventually here. Let's see if they can get one out. Not really, but they're going to go here because that's going to give them a good start of a majority. They'll roll. They have an X, so they do nothing. That's blue's turn. Let's see. All right, so what blue's going to do, instead of placing, they're going to take a die. They're going to jump it on top of this one, and that is going to turn that die into a 4. So that's how you're going to combine things. You're going to max 2 of the same numbers to turn them into a 4, or the next higher number. You're going to mix a 1 with a 3 to turn something into a 4, and that's it. So you're going to mix the same numbers to go to the next highest, or 1 of the 3 to turn a 4. What you're trying to do here is you're trying to be the first person to get a 6 out on the board. So some of these also have special abilities. So the 3 is able to jump over and take another die. And there's also something that can happen, which I'll show you now that once I get back to blue's turn. And because they move their die, they don't get to roll this die. So it's red's turn. They're going to draw from the bag. And they're going to put this right here and get another red die out, get a 3 out. And then they're going to roll. They got a nothing. All right, so now it's blue's turn. And what blue's going to do is they're going to capture that 3 red die. So what you're going to do there is you're going to move on top of that one. A 4 can take a 3. And it goes back to the supply. And then that die is right there. And then that's their turn. So it comes back to red. Let's see here. They're going to take another tile because they want to keep getting some more. So they're going to get a 2 red right there. Whoa, where'd it go? Right there, like that, and then they're gonna roll. And they have to play. They get to place another tile. That's what this one looks like. Plus another tile. So they're gonna place another tile. See if they can get something else. Yes, they'll go right there. They'll get a 2, and you don't get a roll when you get another tile from the action die. So now it's blue's turn. They need to get some tiles out as well. Let's see. Blue, that will give me a tie. Let's go right there. And they're gonna roll. And they got to move a tile or a die 1 space. So they're actually gonna do this. All right, and they're done. Then it'll be red's turn, and they're gonna keep going like this. Same course of play. You're gonna keep moving things. Taking other people's dice, combining your own dice until someone gets a 6. And that is how you play DiTiC or DiTiC. Let's go up to the top, see what we think about it. All right, so that was DiTiC, DiTiC. I don't know. So yeah, that's how easy the game is. It's easy to play. The rules overhead is pretty easy as well. But there's a lot of strategy going on in here as to when you want to put down certain dice. Do you want to try to get a 1 on the board? Because a 1, which I didn't show you because I could never get a 1 to happen, a 1 always gets to move on your turn for free before you can take any action. So I can move my 1 and then take an action. Or, you know, so you're basically going to get 2 actions on your turn if you have a 1 out there. The trick is a 1 can get taken really easily. So think of it as like a pawn in chess. You'll go eat it. It's off the board. So yeah, it can do some cool stuff, but it's probably not going to last long. So yeah, let me talk about some things that I like about this game. One thing I really like is this action die. It's got a bunch of different sides. You saw some of them in action when we were playing. It's just going to give you a little bit more flavor and pizzazz to this game, because really it's just placing down tiles, putting down dice, and moving your dice. But this adds a little bit, well, more randomness, because the tile you draw from the bag is random. But this is going to give you extra things you can do on your turn. So if you draw a tile, you're essentially getting 2 actions on your turn. Whereas if you move your die, you're only doing that. So it's a little bit of give and take there. Another thing I like is I like the way that the dice combine. The rules are a little tricky because the same number can always combine with the same number to go up 1 higher, or a 1 can combine with a 3 to make it a 4. I don't know why the 1 can only combine with a 3, but that's interesting. So you're trying to combine, you need to get 2 5s on the board for 1. Then you got to get those 5s next to each other to try to combine them to make a 6. So that's pretty tough. Like, I don't even know how you would get a 5 on the board other than getting 2 4s to get it together to turn it into a 5, and then you got to do that. So it's going to take a while to get those 2 5s out there to turn it into a 6, which is pretty neat. I like the tiles. They can be a little bigger. Again, this is just prototype stuff, but the tiles are 2-sided and have different configurations on each side, which is pretty cool. I just maybe wish they were a little bigger to make it a little easier to place the dice. So this is essentially an abstract game. As you know, I don't love a lot of abstract games. I don't play a lot of abstract games, but this one's pretty good. Like, it gives you a lot of decision space. It has some randomness, which is cool because a lot of abstract games are all perfect knowledge all the time. There's no randomness, and I like that this one kind of gives you some randomness to keep you on your toes, make you be tactical, because this game's all about tactics. It has some strategy, but mostly it's, oh crap, you went to that space, now I gotta go do this to counteract what you did so I can get my 5 out here to get my 5 moving. It's a lot of that type of stuff. So it's a lot of short-term goals, and maybe if you mesh enough of those short-term goals together, you'll get a long-term plan and win the game. So yeah, I enjoy this game. It's probably not one that I keep in my collection and play a lot, but if I had people who like abstract games, this would definitely be one that I would bring out, and I don't know, maybe they would dig it. So that was DiTiC, and I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.